TGO. And before we get into some of the tactical data that came out this morning, we really have to talk about what's going on overseas, especially in the Ukraine. We got Russian Su-24 fitters, buzzing our ships in the Black Sea, kind of doing the inverted flyby there, so to speak. Really is embarrassing, folks. Apparently, President Obama and Mr. Putin spoke yesterday on the phone at Mr. Putin's behest, and essentially he's poking his finger in our chest, saying, "Hey, you guys better do more to prevent bloodshed in the East." Code words for "I'm worried about my Russians in the East, and here we come." The United States, folks, is an absolute embarrassment on the world stage. The liberal media really doesn't want to admit that we're in a Cold War, that this will be a famous campaign. I wonder if Hillary Clinton, when she runs for president, will use this picture of her standing with the Russian Foreign Secretary Lavrov, with her reset button. Everybody remember that? On behalf of President Obama, we in the United States want to press the reset button. George Bush is gone, and here's a reset button. Of course, the person who built that button in the State Department, who was never fired, the button said overcharged. So apparently Mr. Putin did push that button, and he's now overcharged. And with the United States retreating from the Middle East, looking foolish in the Pacific, he's running all over, you really needed to listen to his speech a couple years ago when he said the most horrific thing, or whatever exact words were, in the 20th century was the downfall of the Soviet Union. Well, this guy's a coming, folks, and the European clown car isn't going to do anything because they get a lot of gas from the guy. And what are we going to do? Yell stop, or I'll yell stop again? NATO is toothless. We don't want to do anything to provoke, the U.S. tries to help Ukraine reassures allies without riling Russia. Ukraine asked for night vision goggles. They asked for military intelligence support. They asked for a ton of stuff because they're being invaded. The president sent MREs, meals ready to eat. And you know what? They didn't fly them in Air Force transport planes. You know what they did? Since we didn't want to rile the Russians, they put them in German trucks and drove them in. We don't want to offend the Russians. You know what? When we flew aid in the Georgia, when it was being invaded by Putin, C-141 U.S. Air Force jets flew over and landed, and you know what? It actually caused Russian troops to turn back because they're like, "What the hell's going on?" Or these paratroopers, or even the sight of U.S. aircraft kind of deterred the Russians back when they invaded Georgia. Now they're buzzing our ships in the Black Sea and giving us the bird. Good stuff, folks. Good stuff. This won't turn out poorly for us, right? A lot of earnings flying all over the place, and we had retail sales yesterday. We had Citigroup with a hit. We had Wells Fargo with a hit. We had J.P. Morgan with a big miss. Morgan Stanley with a big miss. We'll be seeing Goldman Sachs, but seeing and retail sales just blew the doors off of it yesterday. Very, very interesting earnings season so far. It really is not too hot, not too cold, but as my TGO traders know, that a mixed bag of financials, and then this puppy, the BDI, somebody staring at you, but the BDI, the Baltic Dry Index, drops 15th day in a row to its lowest in 9 months. Financials and transports, folks, tend to lead us into and out of recessions. They lead us in the good and out of good, right? And in the bad and out of bad, conversely. So the Baltic Dry Index not doing so hot, and some of the financials not doing so hot, really doesn't bode well for the economy. But the sizzling retail sales number, again, we're getting these mixed symbols, okay? So it really does tell me that, we are going to melt up from here. We are back in bizarro market. Good news is good news, right? Retail sales numbers, good news. Bad news is good news. And awful news is great news. The Shanghai imploded last night. Their money supply just disappeared, and starting to see inflation, just bad data out of China, and it imploded there. Not good news out of China, and that doesn't bode well for us. Even though our futures are up, and it looks like we might have a little bit of an up market today. When China sneezes, we catch a cold, folks. And China's GDP is coming out later in the week, and if China's GDP sucks, get ready, look out below here in the United States. That will cause us to freak out, I'm telling you. Even though we're in Bizarro market, we're going to see a little bit of a freak out. So, I don't know if the sell-off is necessarily over. I think the bleeding has stabilized for a little bit, but since we are in Bizarro market, any pullback is kind of seen as a buying opportunity, and that's what this one is doing as well right now. So futures kind of up a little bit, might have a little bit of a flat day, but it is Tuesday, and kind of like in 2013, it's market goes up Tuesday. Remember that? There was like 25 weeks in a row where every Tuesday the market went up in Bizarro market. So it'll be interesting to see what happens today. Okay, folks, I got to run. We have a primary live trade brief here at 0900. If you're not in any of our services, make sure you go to our homepage and give us a call and see how we, as professional traders, manage our model portfolios here at Top Gun Options, especially our weekly options model portfolio. We've just been absolutely crushing it in weekly options here. So give us a call at 877-343-0268. And we're having a Trade Monster webinar this afternoon at 4:30 Eastern. Don Prattle from Trade Monster is going to give us a brief on their trading platform. It's the same trading platform that I use. You can go to trademonster.com/TGO and open a free paper trading account so you can follow along. So check your email to click on the link to register for this afternoon to see that live trading session with Don Prattle. Okay, got to run. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and I'll see you for tomorrow's SITREP.